Good afternoon to all of you, and congratulations to those already honored. Good job. Dr. Bridges would be very proud of you. My name is Diana Williams, and I'm here to thank and honor Dr. Phyllis Bridges for decades' blessings upon my life. I came here in 1995 in August, just distraught, and newly divorced in my mid-40s, and I needed a job, and I needed to renew my education, and my daughter had dragged me to UT Arlington. She said, you've got to teach, you need to teach in college. I said, I'd be 100 years old before I got my degrees. And she took me there, and we went to talk to somebody in theology, which didn't exist, and sociology, and I wasn't impressed. And then we came to North Texas, and I said, I don't feel good about any of this. And so she said, let's go to Texas Women's. And I walked on campus, and I said, this feels really good, I like this. Let's go to the campus, it felt right. And we went to a couple of departments to talk to people, and no one was there. And it was later in the afternoon. I'm sure they were either teaching or they were gone to dinner or whatever. And some receptionist said, I think you need to talk to Dr. Bridges. And I said, okay, whatever. So I was really upset at this time and discouraged. And she asked me what I wanted to do, and I didn't know. And she took me in her wing, and she said she taught English, and my daughter Tara said, I'm going to be a great English teacher. And I went, research papers. I said, no, I can't do that. And so she asked me, she said, everything that you want to do is going to be part-time, or it won't be available for you in the high schools. And you already have to upgrade your degree from elementary to secondary. And you're still basically, an undergraduate. And so we have a problem. And this would take a while. And she said, I want you to consider English, just based on, I don't know what she was basing it on, my daughter, I guess. And before I left that office, this persuasive little woman had convinced me that I needed to enroll here, and she enrolled me in a 600 class, a doctoral class on John Milton. I hadn't been in an English class in 25 years. My experience with computers was ringing up sales for Liz Claiborne, and I was going to have to compete with my younger daughter for a computer at home. And she was very forgiving, and she was amazing. And I walked out of there going, I'm done. I can't believe I'm doing this. And she started me on a path, and I really felt like it was a God thing, that she started me on a path that led to a wonderful career, very fulfilling at Euless Trinity High School, English teacher. And I knew at one point I loved researching so much, I said, if I could just, somebody would pay my insurance and pay me, I would go and get my doctorate, and I just keep going because I really want that little velvet beret on my head. And she was very practical and said, no, you can't do that. You really need to be where you were in the right place in the high school, and you've got IB and you've got AP, and you're busy, and you have your own problems, and let's just stick with where we are. So I decided, she took me under her wing and was so inspirational, and I decided I needed to be as inspirational to my students as she was to me. She was the best educator I ever had in North Carolina, or in California, or in Texas. I signed up for classes for her that were way over my head, and I managed to come out with straight A's. I was so thrilled when she gave us the first class. I had no idea. You're going to have a take-home final exams. Yes. And that was not a good idea. It was so challenging. It took hours and hours, and I was working full-time and going at night and going all summer, and was just swamped. But you couldn't help but learn, and she challenged us so much. Her technology was non-existent. there was nothing wrong with a whiteboard. Actually, it was a chalkboard, I believe, when I first started. Her lectures mesmerized all her students. She was humorous, always funny. She had unusual details, and her knowledge was just beyond comparison. It was impossible not to learn fully. She would treat us for turning in that final exam to dinner, or lunch, depending on time of day. And my favorite one was way upstairs in Hubbard Hall, where she let each of us sit momentarily in the chair in which Robert Frost had sat. And then she sat in it for the rest of the meal, of course. She was so generous, she always would do that. She'd scare you to death sometimes, and then turn around and buy your meals, and they were nice meals. It wasn't like hamburgers or anything. A friend is what she was. She called us her friends after we were finished. And she really describes what she was to me from early on. One night in the springtime, there was a torrential downpour of rain. I had a teenage daughter at home in Bedford. I had no cell phone. And she was really concerned that I wouldn't be able to get in touch with anybody if I experienced any trouble. So she's insisted that I take her cell phone. And I said, I'll bring it back to you tomorrow. And she said, I'll just bring it next week. I don't need that. That's just the way she was. Then later, she got those of us who were her favorite students, we think, but it's only because we're close enough that we could still be around and have the time to form the English Speech and Foreign Languages Alumni Chapter, and I was on the charter board. It was her involvement with and her leadership of that chapter, plus her knowledge of the needs of her students, that allowed us to generously support them financially and otherwise, such as attending dramas, which she set up for us, providing gifts at holiday time, or money when a fire displaced students, and more. We think that we have the best alumni chapter that there is, and Dr. Bridges is the reason why. She also was concerned with our families and with us personally. In the spring of 2014, at a silent auction fundraiser, Dr. Bridges competed with another alumna over a $150 gift card for a massage and spa at Four Seasons in Las Colinas. She was determined to win it. She gifted me with that spa day because of the deaths of my nonagenarian parents within 6 weeks of each other. They both battled dementia. They'd been on hospice at the same time. It was emotionally stressful, and she kept me going sometimes at night when I would be sitting with them. She felt that I needed the spa day more than anyone. I know that not all educators can give so generously to their students, but maybe she can inspire others to be that caring and to be that kind of a friend to a student in the down times of their life. In 2017, another example, she learned via email that I might not attend our alumni council's luncheon meeting. I told her I was planning on driving to Kentucky by myself to the funeral of my second mother. She called, that was in an email, she called me within minutes. She said, I'm going to trade you some of my airline miles. I said, don't do that. And she said, I already have the flight numbers and the times, and here they are. Which ones can you take? This is when you need to be there, and then you can't do this, you can't do that. So an otherwise $867.60 in flights cost me $11.80 with her gift. She told me I could pay her back by taking her to eat at the Classic in Roanoke, her favorite place. And but she wouldn't let me pay for the meal. She did allow me to tip. So that was my $11.80, whatever that tip was at that time. She always exceeded her call of duty. She loved with a passion that didn't have to be, she didn't have to use the words, I love you, at all. She knew that she blessed us, that she got more blessing from us. She was generous, encouraging, and protective of all of her students. When she introduced me at events up here, She always introduced me as my friend Diana, and I'm sure she thought that about all of us, and that she asked me to do this because she knew I was just representative of many of her students, whom she called her friends. So to Dr. Phyllis Bridges, hey, Phil Seymour, Dr. Pat Edwards said, for you all as well as for those of us in her alumni chapter, please know that she loved you all very much, and she knew that you loved her. She would want you to be at peace with her passing and continue with your good work, living your lives to the fullest. Through you, her legacy continues, and she will forever be in our hearts. Rest in peace, my friend.